We're live. Episode 90.
Every time you do that, I think of like you're trying to do a fly, because the way that you go out, like you're trying to get it.
Oh, the clap.
Yeah, like if you see it from the side, you don't just go here. You go.
They don't see the clap. Maybe they'll see it this time.
Is the sound in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Of the episode?
Yeah.
No.
It's beforehand.
No.
Ooh, secrets.
It's just my voice is the first thing they hear every episode.
Very nice.
How fun is that?
Very, very nice.
Do you ever hang on to a pair of socks too long?
Do you ever hang on what?
To a pair of socks too long?
I mean, yes, because we share socks, so you know that I do.
Yeah. So. Time to throw these.
I would go through them pretty quickly when I was younger because I would dance in them. Like I would have a pair of, like I'd have like a set of 10 of socks that I would always wear for dance, and they'd be like that kind of cut, like just above the ankle and black, because that was the thing, was to wear like black high socks. Like it was like
Nike
contemporary socks.
Inside joke.
Nike Pro, gotta go. But yeah, but I would get a hole in the bottom in the same part, but it's like everything else is good, but this looks so terrible.
Yeah.
It's really
that
bad.
was same for me with sports. I mean, it's just like if you're doing anything athletic, your socks just wear out so fast, it seems like.
Well, and that was the thing, is the socks, like what was in and what was also easier to dance in were like it had to be really thin.
Oh.
So it's like I wore them 5 times and they're trash.
Almost got to wear 2 at a time.
I started doing that.
Is that why those Apollo socks are so?
Probably, yeah.
Because they're just like, they don't wear out that bad?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if they don't wear out that bad. There's compression socks, like they're supposed to be better for, like almost like for basketball players wearing the higher shoes to avoid
sprained ankles.
Sprinkles. It's kind of
Sprinkles.
It's kind of something like that. But so this is what I find cool. So I ran out of my face wash that I make. I just I had to do a different ingredient setup because I didn't have as much castor oil. I didn't realize how much good it was doing for my face until I had to stop using it. I didn't realize all of the stuff that was happening positively. It was my face wash was definitely a part of that.
Really? What was the face wash?
It was so I did the Dr. Bronner's soap, just regular, the refillable soap.
Okay.
I do probably half of the little travel bottle. I'll do half of that soap and then half full just pure castor oil. That's all I was using.
Really?
Yeah. And I think because of how water-based most face washes are, it's like water and soap is pretty much what it is. That because there was no water in there, because the soap is like pure oils as well, kind of.
Yeah.
That then just mixing it with oils, it wasn't stripping my face. Like I could wash my face and it still felt like it was moisturized afterwards. Because
with using this
the one
concoction.
that I make.
Yeah.
Yeah. And castor oil is so thick.
Yeah.
That it's like I don't think I was stripping it as much, and it was like staying moisturized constantly. And castor oil is like proven to be great for your face for how much like rich antioxidants is in it and the omega fatty acids.
They used to drink it.
Yeah, the one that I got, you can ingest. So I might every once in a while do just like a droplet. Yeah, so I didn't realize until I stopped getting to use it. I was like, oh, interesting. It was heavily the face wash.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there you go. All you face queens out there.
And it's so, I mean, it's so cheap. Like the castor oil whole bottle that I just got, which is 16 ounces, maybe it's 20 ounces, was like $20. And it was, I looked on EWG. It was one of the top rated, like EWG certified, triple tested, whatever. And then that whole bottle, I think, is maybe $20 as well. But like that, you're supposed to break it down to like 18ths.
Yeah.
You're supposed to split it like crazy. That mixed with the castor oil and like what I mix with, it's like I could probably make I mean, even just with the castor oil alone, probably 10 portions of my face wash.
And for how long would that last, you think? Like
I
one
mean,
portion?
A bottle, when I fully have it filled up, several months.
Yeah.
Like, I've had that castor oil bottle for probably a year.
Saving money and cleaning your face.
And it's so much better. Like, my face, I mean, I think right now it looks the most congested and clogged because I haven't been using it.
Oh.
Where I'm like, oh my God, my face. It's starting to look like what it used to look like. That between that combination with my sunscreen, I think that power duo has like changed my face pretty dramatically. I mean, and even Carly, the first time, like, she used it for a couple days, the sunscreen, and she's like, I'm not trying to sound crazy, but like my face looks different. She's like, I'm a new person with this. And all of that is the same thing. It's just I get a zinc, like powdered zinc, and that's what is in the sunscreens. So I got a powdered zinc, pellets of
beeswax, right?
beeswax, castor oil again.
Well, really,
I'm like doubling like I'm going heavy on the castor oil.
Yeah.
Castor oil, and then a little bit of coconut oil, just that it like loosens it because it's pretty thick. But I should film it one time when I do it, because the way the ingredient measurements that I did this last time was perfect.
Oh.
I've done it before where it is so cakey and like white and thick, which I do like that way a little bit better for the summertime when we're just going on walks.
Sure.
Because we're just
Little bit more
heavily in the
protection.
sun. But for day-to-day use, what I have now is so like creamy, and it goes on really thin. It doesn't give me the whiteout look.
Yeah.
I think the combination of both of those
Look like a
is
ghost. It looked like I'm walking next to a ghost on our walk.
when I do the others.
Yeah.
The thicker version.
We were like, holy shit, I see a ghost.
It's pure chalk. Like,
They just see me talking too, and
and then especially when I sometimes mix the turmeric in with it. Hey,
oh my God.
what am I doing?
Yeah, what are you
What
doing?
am I doing?
Ridiculous. Like, that is a jaundiced ghost walking next to him.
It looks like I have a face mask.
He needs
a
to
face
take her to
mask
the
on.
hospital. What is
Yeah.
going on?
It doesn't soak in, like, because the zinc like stays on top. I think like it doesn't absorb really, so it looks like I'm wearing a face mask on the walk. Like, I'm really going for it. But I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't like that I ran out and then my face
noticeable,
is going back. But
That's what happens a lot of the times. Like, I feel like I've done that with the multivitamin. I'll
Yeah.
run out of multivitamins, and then I won't have it for a few days, and then all of a sudden, like, my nose thing comes back, or I don't know, just something random ends up happening, and you're like, oh, I wonder if that was the multivitamins, and you start going back to it, and sure enough.
yeah. So I'm pumped about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get castor oil back. I ordered some for tomorrow that I can mix it in before we leave. Cause
Yeah,
making
that's
a
cool.
difference. I should start being more consistent with it with my hair, because it's also known for like hair growth. So I should
Your
try
hair's
to do
growing
that.
really well, though.
It is growing really well. I think one is just not dyeing it. I'm just like not putting stuff in it, so that's helpful. But with also the shampoo that I've been getting, I wonder if that's helping. Like, I'm definitely not getting the dryness as much, like the flakiness, and my head would itch because I think just how dry it was, that I haven't had that. So I think
So you
I'm
think-
fixing my dry scalp
Oh, cool.
issue as well.
And you think
So
that's because of the shampoo?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a part of it, because I got dandruff shampoo. So I
Oh.
think like my scalp was just all out of whack for so long.
I wonder with
And the supplements that I'm taking
Yeah.
the saw palmetto from Dr. Jolene Brighton.
Yeah.
So-
I wonder with that how much that's helping.
Yeah.
Just a lot of any of the stuff, because isn't it it's like a
It's
female.
for hair. Yeah.
Oh,
like
it's for hair.
specifically for hair.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
It's supposed to like balance the hormones a little bit for the hair growth, but it's not going to help my graying. That is going to be a part 2. I will need to attack that situation after I get this hair growth aspect to it. But
Courtney and Hair part 2.
the hair growth or hair loss or thinning of it, I think, which it's still happening
Well, you said
pretty
you thought it was
aggressively, but
growing in a little bit more
yeah, like I
down
don't
your
even
center.
think it's. I mean, it's growing. Like what is there is
But
growing
like
at a
new
faster rate, but
hairs.
like new hairs are growing in. Yeah, because if like I all right here, if I like part my hair in a specific way, so I'm not like matting it down with the weight, I have like all of these new pieces, and they're like 2 inches long. So like that's
Yeah.
not breakage. Like that's new hair coming in.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
and is
I
it a lot
wonder.
of gray hair coming in? Yes, but we're fine with it.
I wonder how much of it is that supplement
Yeah,
that's helping.
just balancing, and that could also be a part of the skin too.
Well, yeah.
That could definitely be a part of the skin. The face wash, I'm noticing a difference just surfacely. So I have a feeling a bunch of that is to do with the
Yeah.
face wash. But
How's your gut stuff been?
it has been pretty good. I've had a few days here and there where it's kind of been rattled a little bit.
Since
But
we've been back?
yeah, like in the last couple days, it
Mm.
just has kind of been funky. But
Do you have an idea of what that is?
no.
Could it be the sauerkraut?
No, because I've only had that like once or twice.
I had that the one night, and I think that made me gassy.
Really?
Yeah, which to me, I'm like, I haven't had sauerkraut in quite a while since
Yeah.
we made it the last time. But with that stuff, I never get freaked out and go like, oh, maybe my body doesn't like it, I shouldn't have it. It happens every time we come back and get raw milk. And
Sure.
there's just like a little bit of an introduction of just that much fermented food and bacteria
Yeah.
that you're getting from that stuff. Like, I think it takes a little bit. When we were back this last time, we got the raw milk, and it took, 4 days ish to really get used to the raw milk again. But knowing that, I probably would do it a little bit slower introduction rather than I'm just going to grab, a full cup or two of raw milk and do my protein shake. But yeah, that stuff I'm always just kind of like, just give it a few days and it'll probably be fine, because it's something new that you're introducing into your body, and especially something like that that's very, it's a strong food. It's not just like a easy digestible thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's more just like the bloating every once in a while just gets kind of funky, but it really overall has not been that bad. And I think it's besides the work weekends. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I feel like when we're back home, it's pretty much just meat and vegetables and fruit. Like we're not doing a lot of the grains or potatoes. So I'm noticing a shift in that, more like a weight shift. Like I feel like I just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I also don't know if my muscle is also going with that. But like I just feel like I'm just like shrinking down. But I feel like I'm just generally kind of going I feel like I'm just going with the season of what is now. Like as long as I'm feeling okay, which I have been, like I said, besides this couple days, I'm just flowing with whatever's happening because we're traveling so much. The food has been weird. If I feel like I, am losing weight, okay. If I feel like I'm gaining a little bit weight, okay. Like it's so much fluctuation happening right now, like a lot. Like one week I'm like, I gained 10 pounds. And the next time I'm like, I can see my bones.
yeah.
Like just, I'm not getting too up in the weeds with it.
Yeah.
But overall, feeling wise, I feel good. I feel like my inflammation is being good too. Like I'm not seeing my face and everything be so swollen all the time.
Yeah, I always like when we come back and get back into the routine of stuff, because I feel like my energy and everything just gets back to where I literally, on the weekends, I literally feel like I'm nutrient deficient.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not getting any nutrients. I don't have energy. My bowel movements aren't the same. Like it just, you don't feel yourself kind of thing, or you don't, not even feel yourself, but I don't know. When you have something to compare to of being at home and how you feel at home, there's also so many other things that are happening at home too, of like, we're outside a lot more and in the sun. So what kind of, what are we getting from that? And then workouts, we're working out more consistently and having that happen. So there's so much going on with that. But the food thing, I'm just like, I feel like I'm eating nutritious food and I can feel the effects of it immediately,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird.
I see my
But-
metabolism shift pretty fast.
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, just like the full bloated feeling. That's how I feel on the weekends
Yeah.
compared to here. Like everything I eat here, I'm not really getting bloated, and then I don't know, I'm ready to eat more a lot of the time.
Well, and that's something that when I've been reading about, like yesterday I was reading about the cortisol stuff. That is,
Okay, Mrs. Segway.
well, but hold on, because I do want to do a quick segment before
Whoa.
then I'll pause on that. I'll pause on it.
No, you're fine. I'm good.
With the cortisol, like
I was
because you're in a stressed state, it might cause you to want to eat more. That I think I do the reverse on those weekends. Well, I do and I don't. Like, because I know it's like an amped environment, I try to not eat as much. So like I'm definitely calories, probably half of what I normally get. Like I just do not eat that much. But when we do eat, it's such dense processed food that I notice I go to that a lot more, because it's like, this is a long day, we're tired, whatever. That's like, I want something fun to happen, or something that's like, I know I'll get filled up, which is like burgers and pasta and rice dishes. And like, I look for the carbs, I think, because of how just like I'm stressed, but not really, and tired and working a lot, that I'm like, oh, this is probably what everyone feels every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're just looking for something to like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah, the inhibitions are low.
Yeah.
Probably because the cortisol's high, and yeah, you just want to eat something, and then you, instead of going for choices that you think you should have, you go for choices that you think are going to make you feel good.
Yeah.
Like reduce that cortisol.
Yeah.
It's the stress food. It's the
Comfort food.
Yeah, the comfort food. You're hoping the food is going to bring that, to be technical or scientific, the cortisol down, and then you won't be stressed. But
yeah, I'm using the food to bring me back into a parasympathetic versus like, just take some breaths, order a salad.
yeah. Well, and that's why I like when we order something the day before, because I'm like, I need to pick something good for me for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So then when it comes, it's not like the 2 hours before, what do you want to have? And you're going off of how you feel right now. Like you're better at looking out for yourself in the future than you are for like in this moment, like, screw it, I'll just do the bad thing.
I just don't like being hungry. That's something that I notice. Like I have this scarcity complex with food and being hungry. Like because we're at a hotel and we're not getting the food, like we're getting food ordered for us. Like I'm used to, like, if I'm really that hungry, like I can just get food. To where I'm like, ooh, what if this salad doesn't fill me up?
And then you don't really
screwed.
have any options to.
So I'm always like, oh, just lean on the side of, I know this will fill me up.
Yeah, I get it.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
What I thought a interesting segment that we could do every once in a while is like, say something, like, because I did a post the other day of like 3 random things for health. And I'm like, I do all of these pretty consistently. And they're just kind of like things that I do without thought. Like they're not the big rule makers, but it's just, I just do a bunch of this stuff intrinsically now.
Yeah.
That give me one for you that's like you do regularly that most people would probably not think to do.
I try to chug a bunch of water like right when I get up. That's not super fun, and people have heard it a lot before, I'm sure, but yeah, I try to chug a bunch of water right away in the morning.
I can do that in somewhat, because that will bloat me if I do it too crazy.
Sure.
Because I think because of the empty stomach or something.
Well, and I'm not like,
it'll like make me nauseous too.
I'm not like, here's 30 ounces of water and I'm sitting there just chugging. I'm just like, I'm intentional about trying to get a lot of water in within the first hour of being awake, type of thing.
Sure.
Like I'm trying to get hydrated as quick as possible so that I'm not fighting that all day long. I'm not trying to catch up to it all day long. Like I want to get too hydrated and then maintain that throughout the whole day.
I get that. Okay. My random health thing is going to be for today.
Sound like a kid at school. I just got called on.
I love when you do that with kids. Like, you do a question, it's like, you know what the question is, and then it gets to you and you're like, what? You sit there for 5 seconds thinking about what your answer is. Like, you just heard 20 different kids say the answer.
Yeah, they don't
you
pay
know what's
attention.
coming to you.
Yeah.
But of course, like, they're 3, so give them a break. I'm like, you know what this question is. And I want these to be like very not obvious things. I have been trying to drink more hot water throughout the day. Just plain hot water in the tea kettle. I've been trying to do that more. Like, definitely one with maybe not dinner. Well, I'm doing it with dinner, but I've been just mixing it with tea. I try to do it with close to every meal.
Oh.
Is a thing with hot water. I do it more than that, probably frequently throughout the day, but for sure try to do it with every meal. After every meal. Hot water. As hot as you can handle it. Water.
Too hot to handle?
Too hot to handle.
That was cool.
Okay.
Now what?
Now, back to
Now what's going on? Did you just hit it?
that a little bit. I
You
tried to
are-
steer it this way. I didn't. I feel like it's fine.
Okay. You just completely offset it the whole time.
I feel like it's fine.
Just talk about something and I'll check it.
Well, okay, so then going back to the cortisol, which go fast then. Hearing about the topic we're talking about today is the workout for you, for your lifestyle, for your, not so much of what your goals are. I guess that could be a part of it. Well, that could be a part of it, but more so figuring out what is your lifestyle and what could you be assisting in your overall health with your workout and not triggering more of the negatives. And I think the easiest one that I can think of is what a lot of people are in, which is a higher stressed, cortisol producing, lack of sleep life. I think there's variations of that, but I think for how much we are on devices, that stresses our body. For how terrible sleep quality most people are getting, that stresses your body. For the food that you're eating, that stresses your body. And then that's not even accounting for your lifestyle of work or family and how that could bring stress into your life. That I have noticed this, and I have heard this being a common theme that women are noticing, that the higher cortisol type of exercises, which is also more promoted to women, which is funny, which is like your HIIT workouts, your cycling classes, it's just like your high intensity, get you sweating and get you out of breath style of working out, whether that's lifting or a cardio based thing, running on the treadmill, that will naturally push and pump your cortisol level. Cortisol is it's a stress hormone, and it is not to promote stress. It's to basically counteract stress. And that gets pushed out when you're doing those types of exercises. That if you are free flowing and loosey goose and you can be calm, bring yourself back to a sympathetic state. Parasympathetic state. Those exercises or styles of exercise can be good for you in short terms because it gets your body to that stress state, which then your body needs to rebalance itself. But when most people are already in that stress state, you're not necessarily getting the full benefits of the exercise because you're pushing it even further and further into fight or flight. Some of the symptoms that could be aligned with that, because you're pushing it too far past into fight or flight, and then you're most likely staying in that fight or flight with your lifestyle, that's where you gain the weight. That's where you have hair loss. That's where you have acne problems, because your body doesn't know the difference between stress of exercise and stress from an environment that could be starving you or trying to kill you.
Yeah. Well, and sleep problems too.
And sleep problems as well. There's
a lot of stuff, but
what happens with the gaining weight is your body is holding on to the calories because, again, it's just signaling stress. So it doesn't know where that stress is coming from. So your blood pressure goes up and your insulin resistance goes up, which is going to cause the weight to hold because you're holding onto the calories and you're not able to filter it through your body as well.
Yeah, it's one of those counterintuitive things. Like for a lot of people too, they probably don't exercise a lot, so they feel like I need this high intensity thing, and I maybe don't have a lot of time to exercise, so I need to get as much bang for my buck as possible. So they choose like a HIIT style thing, or they choose something that has a lot of intensity, the cycling classes, like you said, and exactly what you said. What ends up happening is you're already at a high cortisol thing. Now you're just either keeping that cortisol level up or you're increasing it even more through your exercising. And now all those benefits that you thought you were going to get from exercise aren't happening as quickly or at all. And actually negative things are happening because you're just so stressed out all the time. And I think the real solution to that is trying to figure out a way how to not be stressed in your other areas of life, because there is a ton of benefit to that style of training. Specifically HIIT training. Like you can, as far as cardiovascular health, HIIT training has become just as effective, if not more effective, for shorter periods of time than like steady state cardio. So you can get a whole lot more benefit out of less time. And just even people kind of like that stuff a little bit more a lot of time. They like the cycling class where you're doing the intervals and doing that sort of thing, rather than let me go run for an hour or let me go walk on a treadmill for an hour, that sort of thing. But there's so much benefit that can come from it. A lot of it is programmed very sus, as the kids will say. So I think that's something to watch out for if you're going to dabble in high intensity training. But there's a ton of benefit, which sucks because it should be able to be gathered by everybody. But with how many people that are just already stressed out to the gills, it's not giving you the benefits that it could be, to where different forms of exercise would help that a lot more than the HIIT training stuff. But it always seems like it's the same type of person that gravitates towards the HIIT training.
It's the super busy, barely takes time, or feels like they can't take time out of their work schedule, out of their life schedule to get exercise and to work out, that when they go to work out, and which is probably pretty infrequent as well, like it's not on a consistent weekly schedule, they go in and they want to hit the craziest workout possible because they think they need to make up for lost time.
Yeah.
It's that person, or, and this could be one and the same, it's someone that has a higher stress lifestyle, so they need their workout to match that and make them feel something.
Yeah.
Like your adrenaline is released. So like you do get some sort of, I taught cycling classes, and the first couple times that I did it, I actually did it with them and like did it on the bike, which is how most people teach and how you probably should be doing it, how you should be doing it. But I'm like, you have such a buzz afterwards.
Feels good.
So it's like, I get it, but it's such diminishing returns for most people that you're then just leaving and going throughout your day, which is great. You feel like you're on high and that's awesome. But then you're going into consistent stress level that is where you're going to start to, well, I'm going to cycling 2-3 times a week, or I'm doing these HIIT workouts and they're really stressful and they're really hard, or they're really hard and intense and I'm sweating and blah, blah, blah. And then you either notice your body withering away because your body can't handle that much. It's already like, again, the hair loss and everything just starts to deplete because you're depleting your body. Or you start to notice the weight gain or the holding on to weight.
Well, and it's like you're literally just seeing the effects of having high cortisol levels.
Yeah.
Like chronic high cortisol levels.
Yeah.
And
skin irritation, the hair falling out, the bloating, that's a part of it. The weight gain, and you notice the weight gain is also in like specific areas. Like if you hold it a lot in your midsection, that's also a part of it. The lack of sleep, your lack of appetite, your irritation, like your ability to handle stress goes down.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. And what they should be doing is the complete opposite. Those people.
Yes.
Like they need a almost like a bodybuilding style training, or like a very slow, monotonous, like moments of intensity, but lots of recovery, relaxation in between. Just like your classic, I do a set of chest press and then I sit for a minute or 2 minutes and take a break and relax, and then I go back to it. And it's so funny to recommend that to the people that, like you were talking about, of that are very just high intensity people. Like their job might be high intensity and they're very amped all the time and that's their comfort zone. To get them to try to relax and sit there for a minute or two is like, I don't know. It's like trying.
It's like they have ants under their skin.
Yeah, exactly. They just can't do it. And that is the most beneficial thing that they could be doing for their exercise, is having that relaxation time, because you're not spiking the cortisol and keeping it there for 30 minutes. You're kind of bringing it up and then bringing it down. Like you're getting practice of them being able to regulate their system. And so if you're one of those people and you get into the HIIT, or you go do CrossFit and you go do this and you all do these high intensity things all the time, and you're wondering why you can't get to where you want to get to, this could be you. Of you're already high intensity, your cortisol levels are already high. And a lot of the times it's very difficult to know or figure out, do I have high stress? Like not everybody's going to go get a blood panel and see where their cortisol levels are. So if you just naturally kind of gravitate to that sort of lifestyle and those things, you're probably somebody that's a cortisol junkie and wants that high all the time. That's almost more comfortable to you. The challenge is then you need something that counteracts that and goes opposite of that. And it feels like it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. That's like, well, I want to lose weight and gain muscle and do all this kind of stuff. I should be like having something intense in cardio and also weight training and whatever else. But really what you need is to dial it down, be super intentional with your lifts and your exercises, like do them good. You don't have to like do all of your exercises super slow, but it's doing your exercises with good pace, good form, good everything, and then taking your rests and literally teaching and practicing your body to bring cortisol down, and like you be in control of it, because you're just always at a heightened state. We need to do something to bring it down.
Well, that person would get more benefit from, say it's someone that works from home. Like if you are working all day long, every hour stand up and do a couple sets of squats, or do walking lunges around your house, or before, like doing some push, like very simple body weight, doing body weight exercises to the best of your ability throughout the day, weekly.
I think yes, but then to pair that with actual relaxation and recovery.
Yeah.
Because that's just them spiking that even more again, that they need the practice of bringing it down. Like too much of their life is constantly in this high cortisol state.
Yeah.
That you need to practice bringing it down and find things that do that for you.
But say if it's that person that like, they're going to work out once a month.
Well,
because they'll go to the gym once a month, because taking an hour out of their month, that's too much for them. So having that person being able to do something consistently, but yes, with the idea of your exercise should not be, that should be a part of your relaxation recovery aspect of your day. Like that as a whole.
Yeah, well, it should be, I don't know, like there's obviously just the balance of life. You're trying to figure out how to manage all of this. And a main reason why we're having this conversation about it is because people are work life is so intense for them, and not even just work life, but everything. The work life, and then they come home, they've got 3 kids and their kids are screaming and freaking out and they're trying to wrangle them. So it's like their whole day is just cortisol, cortisol.
Go.
Yeah. That now when they go to work out and they don't work out that frequently, they work out once a month or they work out once a week. They're like, well, I can't get to the gym that much, so this has got to be freaking intense for me to get anything out of it.
Not how the body works.
Yeah. But then people don't think about that, or don't know that that's I don't know, the way that it works of, hey, but when you put it into those terms of like, think about where you're just at all day long. It's this revved up to 80, 90, 100, and you're just there all day long. And then you try to go to sleep on a dime. And you're like, I just can't sleep well. It's like, well, yeah, no kidding.
Or you crash and you do fall asleep and you sleep hard, but for minimal amounts. Like, you shouldn't go into bed and like immediately fall asleep. You know what I mean? But like, it shouldn't be like, I can't wait to get to bed and you crash. That is a sign of overuse.
Yeah,
of your
burning
body.
the candle at both ends there a little bit. But when you put it into those terms of like, you know, thinking about cortisol and thinking about your whole life at a balance, yeah, these exercises that you have control over doesn't really make sense comparative to what the whole rest of your life is. I get you can't change the work thing. You got to make money. You got to do what you can. You're in a, for whatever reason, like that is intense for you, and that's doing a lot. You have kids and they're a lot and they bring some stress. What you can control is your exercises and that sort of thing. So don't make those super intense. Make those like more of a relaxing recovery state type of thing. And that should help you be able to manage the rest of the other days then too, because you're practicing bringing the cortisol levels down. And then when you go into work, maybe you can be a little bit more. It's like what you said too about the study of people who sleep a little bit less, but are able to but work out, but resistance train, that it's able to offset that lack of sleep a little bit. It's kind of the same thing. You're trying to offset this high cortisol thing all day long from work and family and whatever, so that you can get to where you want to go, whether it's body wise, mental wise, you know, all of that kind of stuff.
I did a post, I think yesterday, about the importance of like having a closeout to your workouts. We rarely do that when it's like just around here. We've also been working out in here. That's like, we're not really getting into it that much. And that's why I said, like, in my post, I even said like my style of lifting is very relaxed, methodical. Like it's castor oil. It's flow state. Our lifting is flow state. Like, our heart rate maybe will get up during the lift, but it's coming right back down. Like, we're not really pushing the gills that much. So I think our whole workout is chill vibes, but the importance of having that, bringing your system back down, the importance of bringing your heart rate back down, the importance of relaxing your muscles and having everything go back to not only to be able to handle the rest of your day and the rest of your life that way, but for how much that affects your physicality aspect of it. Like, if you can get yourself out of that stress state and back into the parasympathetic, like, your recovery, your muscle recovery will be better. Like, your actual development will be increased because your body isn't stressed out. It's like, oh, we can build muscle because we can use those calories, and we can recover quicker because we're not needing to like stay activated all the time.
Yeah, a lot of the times that high cortisol level and you trying to do these HIIT workouts, you're not going to build muscle anyways. Yeah,
so like the reason you're working out, you probably will not get those benefits.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Because your body's like, building muscle? What?
That's not top priority. Like, your body's very good at determining what is high priority and what is, you know, able to happen here. And when cortisol is just chronically high all the time, it's not going to let you do all these cool, let me lose a bunch of weight or let me put on a bunch of muscle. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times too, it's like these people are doing it going once every 2 weeks. They go 3 days in a week, and then all of a sudden they go once the next week, and then they don't go for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they come back and try it all over. It's like, well, there's just consistency isn't going to work here either.
Well, yeah.
Part of my thought process with that is like, one of the reasons why you maybe not be able to be consistent with it is because of the style of workout that it is. This is too intense and too crazy for your body to handle because cortisol is already high. You're not recovering and being able to get what you need out of these workouts physically and like psychologically, nervous system wise, hormonally, you're not getting what the body needs out of it. So of course you don't want to go back and do it again.
Yeah. Well, and even the busiest people, you have an activity where you're doing something where you could whip out some body weight exercises.
Yeah.
Like going on the weekends. Like sometimes when I'm in the elevator by myself, I'll like hold the wall sit, or I'll do like some walking lunges, just like keep my knees, because I'm sitting down for a lot of the other parts. It's like when I'm in the elevator alone, I can whip out some stuff. When I am like, just
in the hotel
brushing
room
my
on your own.
teeth, I can be doing some squats.
Yeah.
Like I'm already going to be doing these activities, and I get it. This is coming from someone that's not that busy, doesn't have a lot going on. But
And your life is revolved around.
well, yeah,
health.
revolving around it. But we're aware of people that are very busy. You've worked with people that are lawyers.
Yeah.
Like they are going all the time and have kids and have lives of their own. Like,
Well,
you're
he's-
already doing these things. Figure out, and that's what one of my like random health facts that I posted was like, try to make it a game almost. Of like,
RHFs.
what?
RHFs. Random health facts.
Of like, how many ways can you find movement in your day? Can you walk around while you're brushing your teeth? Can you, like I said, when you're in an elevator, when you're waiting for something, can you be doing something that adds more movement that's still chill?
Yeah.
Every hour, can you stand up and just walk around a second?
That lawyer is a perfect example, because he would come in, and for a while we were doing basically the same workout every time he came in. And it was some squats holding onto dumbbells, basically deadlifts with dumbbells. And it was like not heavy. It was weight that he could easily handle. We were doing 10 repetitions. We would take probably 2-minute, 3-minute rests. We'd do 3 of those. We'd grab the dumbbells, do farmer carries, just because we knew he was sitting a lot and trying to correct posture. Also give him something that was somewhat monotonous and easy to do. So we do farmer carries, same thing, 2-3-minute rests. We go, like, it was mostly doing corrective exercises with a little bit of like the dumbbell deadlift and something that he's pushing, like a full body, a compound movement. And it was like 3-4 exercises, and it was like, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, they would feel like that is a complete waste of money. It's like, yes, when you consider, okay, what is his body goals? And is he trying to get jacked? Is he trying to do this? Like, no, he was literally trying to just, like, I
Take a
feel like I
break.
need to do something physical, and I need a mental break from work. I mean, he's working 70 hours a week, and that was what was helping. And getting what he needed was bringing the cortisol down, because it's also like you're starting from a point of he doesn't exercise and he's super high stressed out. We kind of need to start here, and then maybe gradually as we get a little bit further, maybe when this whole process of working out this way helps him bring his cortisol down throughout the day. Now we can start to do a little bit more stuff as far as like, well, do you have goals body wise? Do you have this? Do you have that? I think that's where he was a really great person to train for me, learning how to train people too, because so many people come in with like, I want to do this with my body. I want to lose weight. I want to put on muscle. I want to get a skinnier waist. I want this. I want that. And he came in and was like, I just need to be physical in some way, but I'm a lawyer that works 70 hours a week. Like, I'm not going to come in here and be Arnold Schwarzenegger and try to
Good for him to know that.
lift a whole bunch of weight. And it was like, oh, this is a different type of challenge to me. And then it made me look at all of my other clients like, you guys need to do more of this stuff.
Yes.
For how stressed out you all are. Like, this should be the exercising that we're doing should be a stress reduction thing, not a let's push the pedal to the metal and, well, you want these body goals, so we got to push. It's like, no, they're already pushing too much. Their body's not going to allow them to put on muscle or lose weight right now with how they're managing life. Basically, you need to manage life with the full spectrum. And it's like, if you're not able to do that through exercise, you're kind of going to be running into brick walls a lot of the time, which I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, I think if you're which a lot of people are, high stress, busy schedule, don't have a lot of time, don't have a lot of energy potentially to even put forth to your health, I think finding a way for it to be easy but consistent and a way to bring it's gonna mess the whole thing up. Now who's the problem? You okay?
Start over.
You okay?
I love how I'm dying over here. Like, you just fucked up my whole thing. You're like, hold on. I'm saying something important. I'm like, do it for the podcast. Don't worry about me.
But yeah, I think if you're high stress, busy schedule, finding a way to make it consistent, but make it simple enough to where you can keep it consistent and make that something that you are not only able to do within your schedule regularly, but something that you're not. Now, I shouldn't say that you're not dreading because you don't need to enjoy it. It's exercise. But finding as many minimal ways to move your body, you're not trying to make a huge dent by your exercises. The going in once a month or every once in a while isn't going to do anything. That's like when you take your diet. If you eat one healthy meal once a month, is that going to make you lose weight or change your health? No. The same way in the reverse. If you have one bad meal in a month, it's not going to do much. It might affect you that day. You might feel the cortisol spike. You might feel your adrenaline. You might get the sweat. You might feel like you're doing something. You're not.
Well, I think one of the common things that's said but overlooked a lot of times is you should feel good after your workouts.
But you can't. But those people do feel good after their workouts when they do the high pace. They're not going to feel good after doing a slow pace exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That will make them not feel good because it's like, well, what did I even do?
Well, maybe
that's something that I even get tricked with sometimes. Like at the hotel when we were in Seattle, I kept just like doing more exercises because I'm like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. Again, it's so slow and methodical, and I'm listening to podcasts or listening to music while I'm doing it, taking so many rest breaks, drinking my coffee. Like it's such a chill experience that I'm like, dang, I'm not feeling anything. I should be doing more. Like this is the one workout I fell into it. Like this is the one workout I'm probably going to do in the next couple days. Let's get after it. And I just kept, just do more. I was so sorry the next day. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, so because I felt fine and like I could continually recover within the workout, I need to push it so that I am not recovering. Like, what is that?
Well, and I agree with you that people will leave it thinking they are feeling really good and whatever. And I think what I'm more so, it's to that point, like, how do you feel the next day then? And not how do you feel.
You should leave feeling like there's some left in the tank.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a little bit.
You shouldn't be like just hobbling out of the gym.
I just think there's a uplifting feeling after the workouts, the first, 30 minutes to the rest of the day to into the next day, that you feel better, not the next day and all of a sudden you're sore as shit and you're drained and like can't walk around and move and that sort of thing. And I think those people that do the high intensity stuff all the time and when they shouldn't be, because there's also a category of people that could and should be doing it. I'm not saying don't do this ever. Like there is a time and a place for it, and it's you would feel good after it. But for the people
maybe we can get into that next of who is that person.
The people that are already high cortisol and are already burning the candle at both ends, and then they're doing these high intensity workouts, you get done with it and you feel good because you accomplished something, but that's not the same as like your body actually feels good. Like your stupid lizard brain feels good because you're not lizard brain. Your stupid human
monkey brain
feels good because you accomplished something that you put your mind to. But how do you feel like physically, neurologically, hormonally after that workout?
Well, yeah, notice a couple hours. Do you crash?
Right. Yeah. Are you
once
crashing?
Those adrenaline levels drop?
Are you way too sore the next day, or yeah, even like throughout the rest of the day, is there just high level of fatigue? You don't want to do anything else. You don't want to get up off the couch, or I don't know, you're at work the next day and you're feeling way more tired than you were the day before. It's like those are signs that the workouts are not helping. They're actually taking away from what you should be doing. But your stupid human brain goes like, yeah, but that was an intense workout and I did it. It's like, yeah, but that's not setting you up for the rest of your days and rest of your weeks positively. It should be giving you a good, I don't know, you should be building momentum and getting better feeling each day throughout that.
Yeah. So then who is the person that should or could be benefiting from these workouts?
I mean, the exact, yeah, kids a lot of the time, they are sitting at school doing nothing all day long and
they can push it.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally just the opposite person. The person that maybe isn't that stressed out, doesn't have high cortisol level, or they are really good at regulating that. They are doing practices and they have things that they can do that.
They're pushing their recovery as much as they're pushing their workouts.
Yeah. And they're good at being able to relax and bring things down. And they even know what that state feels like and how that feels.
That's such a specific person. Like, I know people like that. And it's like, oh, these are two different personalities.
Yeah.
Like, you can chill. It's so weird when you know someone that, like, oh, you're actually, like, relaxed. Like, you can bring it back down to, like, it's loosey-goose. Like, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, that's genuine.
And a lot of the times those people are the ones that are doing the yoga all the time or they are doing workouts that are very slow and methodical and just like easy breezy chill vibes, like you said.
Not working out at all. They don't think it matters.
Yeah, don't work it out at all. They don't care about it. Those are the people that probably aren't that stressed out or as stressed out, or they're really good at managing cortisol, that they would benefit a lot from it because, I mean, compared to steady state cardio, this has a ton of effect to it, even more so than steady state in shorter amounts of time. And then if you're doing this HIIT training type of thing with resistance training as well, you're getting this high intensity through resistance training. You're getting a little bit of bang of both, not bang for your buck, but bang of both. You're getting the resistance training benefits of building muscle. You're getting the cardio aspect of potentially losing some fat, also just increasing VO2 max, which is strongly linked to longevity. So you're increasing that and getting better of that.
Overall health.
Yeah.
I think you want your exercising to be an adaptation for your body, and you want it to be a shock, in quotes. I say that word lightly, to your body. That if you are a stressed person all the time, that's not a shock to your system. That's just amping the levels. To where if you are easy breezy, cool guy, beach guy, that would be a shock to your system, and it would give your body a challenge, and just enough, and then you're able to bring it back down. Like, you're getting the benefits of it.
Yeah, it's the classic, weighted scale thing on either side. You're up or down on one side. Your workouts is the thing that you can control a little bit more than probably the rest of your life. You use that as the bringing what you need. If you're super high cortisol, we need to do workouts that help lower that and bring that down. If I'm super low cortisol or I don't really experience that, I can pump that up to give me something to do.
I think kids, this is a great thing for kids to be doing. I think it pushes them, and it challenges them mentally, which I think is so beneficial for kids, but it's also quick and like in the duration of quick. It's like it'll keep them engaged because it's constantly going. That it takes a pretty patient kid, I think, to do like a relaxed bodybuilding style workout. Like, they got to be really interested in it. That it's quick enough and engaging enough and fast paced enough to where the adrenaline for them will keep them going, and I think the competitive nature, it'll keep them going. That I think it's great for kids.
Yeah. I think with going into some of the ways that you can use it is important to know too, because there's a ton of people that maybe they start with like a bodybuilding hypertrophy thing and they're used to being in the gym for an hour and a half, that then they try to go to this HIIT style of training and they're trying to do this for an hour and a half. It's like, you have to, again, there's a balance to this all. If you're going to go super high intensity, you can't keep the same duration as something else you were doing. Yeah. You got to back off in something. So with intensity going up, typically then like duration of your workouts goes down. How much weight you're doing typically goes down. Maybe sets and even reps goes down. It depends on how you're going to program it. But if you're going to bring intensity up that high, you have to bring something down. And a lot of the times it's just bring the duration down. That's why a lot of these end up being 30 minutes or whatever. Like those cycling classes, for how intense they are a lot of the time, I don't think they should be that long.
No, I normally like 25, 30-minute classes or 45-minute classes sometimes.
Oh, I thought they were an hour when you were doing them.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
I'm wrong. I never really did them that much. So if they're only like 30 minutes or so, I think that's good. But
at least the ones that I was doing. I don't know like a Soul Cycle or the Peloton, if those classes are longer. I'm sure there's options to do different ones. But hopefully the instructor, there is a lot of intervals in there where it's
relaxed. It's steady state.
There's parts where you're just kind of at a cruise.
But yeah, I mean, with that high intensity, it should be a little bit shorter. And then I think especially if you're going to do resistance training type stuff, that's where it becomes even more important with what you're doing and how you're doing it. If you're going to be doing, which we've done before, high intensity interval training with weights, you can't be doing, 90 seconds of barbell squats. Like that's just insane. You can't be doing 90 seconds of box jumps. That's just insane. Like some of these things that I've seen programmed where we're supposed to be doing is like 100%, as much output as we can and aggressive and pushing the weight and doing that sort of stuff with these super high compound explosive exercises. And then you want me to do it for 90 seconds and then go to something else and do the same thing. Like this is where CrossFit gets the bad rap. It's because it's just, these movements are so
technical
and difficult,
taxing.
And then you want me to do, CrossFit is more about the numbers, which I personally think is better than the duration. Like these interval trainings where it's like, do this for 90 seconds. Like, man, you're just asking for injury and bad form.
Yes.
But for CrossFit, they, I think, did a little bit better of a job where it's like, you need to do 20 repetitions. So now you're managing the weight of how much weight I can do for 20 repetitions. And then there's that there's the scale of, okay, I did this amount of weight and I was able to do this many rounds or whatever. I completed it within this time. That's a little bit safer, but even still, that's such a skill to learn to where if you're programming your own or you're looking at one to do, I always liked to do like, say 3 different exercises and you give yourself maybe 30-second rest in between, or if you're really trying to push it, give yourself none. But there's really only like one compound movement within that tri-set. So you're maybe doing a set of 10, and I hardly ever went over like 15 repetitions of it because you're getting exhausted. You're getting tired. I don't want you going into your third set of barbell squats of 20 repetitions when we've just been going for like 3-4 minutes straight. So.
And I think another point on that is the goal, because I think that's where people also get kind of twisted with these styles of workouts, is they go for the trudge. Like it's the very basic mindset. And I say that judgmentally. So there you go. It's the basic. It's the basic mindset of like, as long as I'm sweating and I'm out of breath, I'm completing the task. To where that's where injuries happen, because the form goes out, because then they just start to like, I'm trying to look for the pain. They're searching for the pain.
Oh, you'll
to
find
where
it.
People that are like high level CrossFit athletes, the efficiency that they have in those movements, you're trying to find, how can I do 20 repetitions of these deadlifts with minimal error, because my body is naturally going to be getting more taxed. So I need to have my body be able to fall back on my form.
Yeah.
So you're searching for efficiency. So I also wouldn't go, this is not how I would, again, which I want to kind of get into. This is not what I would start for beginners.
No,
like
of course
you
not.
need to have a very high understanding and intricacy and understanding of the intricacies of these lifts. So that you can tell, oh, when I'm getting tired, I know what it feels like to have my back be rounded, or I'm releasing in my shoulders when I'm doing deadlifts, or that I'm lifting more with my hips than I am with my legs. If you have an understanding of that, you'll limit the injury, I think, a lot more.
Well, and I think even if you were to be not quite to that level and still doing these HIIT workouts, you could find ways to make it injury or risk safer. But I don't know. It's still just like, is it really going to be worth it when you don't really know how to do these exercises or them that efficiently, like you said? But, you know, if I'm doing a tricep, it's like I maybe will have something like deadlifts in there for repetitions, 10 probably. And then you're going to like something body weight, a push-up, a pull-up, a dip, just something that's working multiple muscle groups, but the risk is very low. It's very, very low. Like I'm not going to go to deadlifts and then go into, you know, squats and then go into box jumps or something. And really, if you're doing box jumps, there's absolutely no reason to do anything over like 5 in a row.
Yeah.
There's just not. This is an explosive exercise working on explosiveness. This should not be a cardio exercise. Period. Done. Let's never talk about it again.
Yes, because
it's
again,
ridiculous.
The risk of injury is so high with that.
Yes. You should not be getting to exhaustion and then asking your body to do the most difficult thing it could do. It's just not smart.
We go up and down, up and down.
Yeah,
up and down.
it's just not
go
smart.
on a tiny little step up. And also, like, you better be freaking skilled at how to accelerate and land. The amount of people that land terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, see you later, cartilage.
Yeah.
See you later, knees. See you later, ankles.
You wonder why you have knee, ankle, hip problems. It's because you're doing fucking rounds of box jumps over and over again. And it's just, people don't know. They've been taught by something else, or it was programmed into a workout that they
listen
saw,
up.
And just don't do that. But with the HIIT training, it's like, it should be things that are moving your body and challenging your body, but the risk is very low. Sled pushes and pulls are awesome for HIIT exercises. I know people like the battle ropes. That's another good one. Risk is very low with that. I really like kettlebells for HIIT routines. Really low risk. You can do a whole lot with them, and you're not loading up so much weight and having to do these crazy amounts of, I don't know, just positions that you're in, all that kind of stuff. It's very risk safe as long as you know what you're doing with swings and you're not bashing your knees or, you know, throwing the kettlebell in front of you and hitting your friend in the face or something. But if you're going to program your own or you're looking for some, I think those are the sort of things that you want to look for. Is this very low risk? Or is it looking like, hey, this has box jumps for 45 seconds in it? That seems like I shouldn't be doing that. Mm-hmm. Or this has me going from deadlifts, then to squats, then to like hang cleans. And it's like, those are 3 of the most physically and neurologically demanding exercise known to humankind. Why would you do them back to back to back?
Yes.
And try to do them as fast as you can to beat a certain time, or to like put a whole bunch of weight on and try to get as much weight as you can out of them. Like, it just doesn't make sense risk wise.
No. And the people that are doing that, like, cause I know in some CrossFit competitions, like they're having pretty intense back to backs, but you're not a CrossFit athlete.
No.
You like, and if that is you, like, you are so skilled in these exercises that, well, straight up, you're just not listening to this podcast, but I think of those kinds of workout. I mean, maybe a little bit of any workout, but especially those where the factor of exhaustion is part of it, and like very heavily part of it. I think of it like a meal. Like, you have your main thing and then you have sides. You can't have a bunch of main things.
Yeah, it just
You're
doesn't.
just overloading the system.
Yeah, and you're kind of starting to confuse the adaptation too a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a little bit more getting crazy with it, but
And I think maybe understanding mechanically what is that exercise depleting.
yeah, what are we taxing the same thing over and over again
Yeah.
to where that might not be, because that's another good point of within those workouts there should be some variety of what you're hitting. Like typically these HIIT exercises are full body. The resistance training ones, they're full body, as they should be, rather than I'm going to do a HIIT training of just my hamstrings. And then you're just destroying your hamstrings, and that's just no good.
That's talk about a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be sore for no reason.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so then another category that I think could be fun to talk about, not so much that it's like there's one right answer, but I think it just opinion-wise, I think could be kind of cool to talk about, is how to work out based off of your age. Like I think resistance training is going to be a through line in all of them, but the importance and maybe where you can mess with it could be different with age. So like let's start with like kids, like younger kids, because we're also just talking about how it's kind of now myth busted that it's bad for kids to be resistance training.
Yeah.
Because we always heard when we were younger, like
It could stunt
your
your
growth.
growth. And
Yeah. Actually, I think we talked about it on the podcast.
yeah, we did. And I looked it up a little bit further, and what their theory was in the beginning, that it could be potentially damaging growth plates.
Because all the compression.
Yeah, and really what they were finding more so was like this was happening more within the sport that they were doing rather than the actual resistance training that they were doing.
Sure.
And it's also like, you know, it was saying too, if you're doing it with bad form and too high of intensity and all that kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, of course. I mean, it's just like anybody. If you're doing things the wrong way, it's going to be damaging. But if you're doing them the right way, like bone density goes way up, you know, muscle obviously goes way up. And those things are actually, they obviously helped kids. The studies that they were doing, those that resistance trained, the amount of fracture injuries went way down.
Oh, yeah.
And it just makes sense because it's strengthening your bones and muscle and all that kind of stuff.
And you also got to think too, I would think because of and that's why I wanted to talk about it with age, because I think younger kids is something that we don't really talk about a lot when it comes to exercise. I think we do when we talk about behavior, but their body control and their body awareness is probably much better.
Oh yeah.
That then you take them into a sport, they're probably making less mistakes in that way, which cause injury.
Yeah. More connection to what they're doing, and yeah, it's going to translate to everywhere.
So what are some things that you think, like what are, your kid is 6, 7, 8 years old. What would be your kind of introduction? Maybe more so what they're interested in, but.
Well, the common thing that you hear all the time is put them in gymnastics, which I think is obviously great. I mean, the body control and awareness and them being able to learn that and connect to that, that's going to help them throughout everything else. But, you know, as like we just said, the research shows that it doesn't stunt growth unless you're doing it improperly and damaging them. Like I would be resistance training. For what we know about longevity and holding on to muscle, once it's built, you hold on to it forever. Mm-hmm. So the earlier that you can get to that, I think the better. And then, yeah, it's just going to translate into everything else that they do, whether it's for sports and athletics or it's just for life and longevity and whatever. And also having that introduced to them at an early age so that it becomes a behavior. But as far as like just the physical benefits of it, it's like your kid's just going to be more resilient to broken bones and like certain injuries and ailments and all that kind of stuff. Like I didn't really start working out till sophomore year of high school, but I don't think I've ever broken anything. I've never torn anything. And part of that probably is because I've just worked out for a long time. And like I played sports and I did all that and nothing really ever happened. And I was super intentional with my workouts of correct form, doing it properly, and like also trying to keep balance and I don't know, like fluidity with things. I wasn't just trying to be big chest, whatever, and then not worry about my legs. And then all of a sudden I have this crazy imbalance. But I just don't really deal with injuries that much. And that's probably a testament to starting working out at a younger-ish age compared to what a lot of people do. So now if you just take that to even younger and younger, there's going to be a ton of physical benefits that kid doesn't have to, the ton of benefits that the kid is going to get, and a ton of negatives that they're not going to have to deal with as they grow up.
Yeah. Also, I think like categorizing, I think resistance training specifically for kids, physically, like you said, they are training their body to develop in a specific way that will then assist them as they get older, injury prevention, as well as the muscle growth. We see that being one of the biggest struggles in adults. So if that can be something that you just naturally have, like what a benefit. I think it physically, even what does that do to their hormones? Yeah. So for when kids are in that age or starting to become in that age where bodies are going to be changing, puberty is going to be starting to happen, I think physically, hormones, how much does that help? Because then how much does that affect their sleep? How much does it affect their energy when they're going throughout their day and in school and at sports? I think the body control and kids having body control is such a under recognized thing, but it's a under celebrated thing, because like that is a huge part of also how their brain develops. Like if you can have really good motor control and motor development and your understanding of your body and space, like that is such a crossover for kids with their brain development and their intelligence. So that, I think resistance training and being physical just naturally assists in doing that. It's like, it's silly, but like you have them just doing curls. It's like the right and left side practicing that alternating and like understanding, okay, well, I need to rotate my wrists, or where's my body positioning? Like their attention to detail with that will greatly affect their mental ability. I think it teaches just self-control and patience, which kids do not have naturally, really.
No.
It's like you're taking them away from their life of on the iPad or watching TV or playing games or stuff that maybe isn't necessarily assisting in them, but it's just more a time thing of they like it because it's entertaining. Putting them in something that is physical that will still take their time, but having that natural patience with it, because you have to. Like you're lifting weight around, you can't just be throwing everything. That I think it is a training for patience, which is awesome. It pushes them to be tough, because most of the time with boys, they want to be, how much weight can you lift, and bragging about that, and they want to have muscles, and that's really cool to them. That resilience, the practice of resilience and the practice of pushing yourself is so critical, I think, with kids. Like they realistically don't have a lot of outlets to do that. Like unless they are in sports and it's spelled out for them, it's kind of hard to teach kids like where is your limit and then how to push the boundaries in a safe way. That's hard for kids to do and understand, that it's so broken down to the basic level with weights. And then I think with girls on the same aspect, if you're able to teach and get the practice of having young girls understanding like their own physical strength, like the mental transfer of that and the confidence that you have of that, like how cool. And if you have the ability to do it with your kid, that one-on-one time with your kid of like, we're practicing something to better ourselves and to better our body and to better our brain together, and an overlap for you. If you get to spend cool time with your kid, teaching them something, maybe you get to learn something together. It's a hobby for both of you. And you also probably are going to be exercising more because your kid's wanting you to do it with them.
Yeah.
So it's just like, is there really any negative to it? Maybe a safety thing, like figuring that out with your kid, but
which that has to be taught regardless, no matter what age you are. And really all the things that you just said, it's like, that's really for every age.
Yeah.
It's probably not more important, but it's definitely of importance for kids, because you can just start them off on the right foot right away. And for what we know about longevity and all that kind of stuff, the earlier you start this, they're just those physical things that come up for people that get older, they just don't happen as much or as aggressively than for kids.
Well, and that's where I think we got it through sports and through dance, but I think resistance training, again, I brought up in the last episode, like if kids are not into those things, this still gives them another outlet to be moving their body and challenging their body, which I think is important for kids. But it's like maybe they're just not into sports, but that's still going to be way than just like them sitting around playing video games or on their phones or on their iPads.
Yeah,
that it gives them a physical outlet. But through us doing that as kids, I know what it's like to challenge myself physically and to surprise myself physically. That I think is a huge benefit and a tool that I have in my toolbox when it comes to just life.
Well, I mean, you literally have a
different confidence in myself.
You have a higher level of like pain threshold.
Yeah.
And physical exertion threshold for people that don't exercise and haven't exercised pretty much their whole life. When they try to pick up exercising, they have a very low threshold for uncomfortability, physical uncomfortability. So it's like when they first pick up a weight or they first do something that has any sort of physical exertion, it's so difficult for them. It's so challenging for them, to where you take somebody who did sports their whole life, did dance their whole life, exercise their whole life, their threshold is so high that uncomfortability just doesn't bother them as much.
Okay, and then take it into like maybe like high school into like through your 20s.
Oh man, this is gonna be such a long episode.
Well, okay, because I guess more so for that age group, I think it's figuring your system out, figuring your body out. Resistance training isn't obvious, but this is where you're really setting the tone for the rest of your life of like, how do you make it a priority? How do you make it a habit for you moving on? Now into the middle age group.
But I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Well, this is what's difficult about this conversation, because so many kids that in high school, I think it's more so it should be like middle school to high school.
Oh, okay.
Because after high school, a lot of these kids probably won't do sports anymore. Like there's a huge drop off of that, to where the focus in that time is mostly sports. True. I don't think it is setting up for the rest of your life. I don't think people set up for the rest of their life until they're 45 most of the time.
They're halfway
like,
through.
Man, I'm starting to go, I really should get strong for my 90s. And it's like, guy, you're 70. Like, what are you talking about? Should have been doing this 40 years ago. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Like setting your, like having it be for like the physical activity that you're in alternatively, like sports, would be probably making sure that you're balanced with that.
And then again, for most people, say another 4 years after college, those that have still been doing sports and in it, now you have another large drop off of people no longer doing sports, and physical activity just isn't really in the arsenal anymore. They're not doing it for something. Right. So typically it's like, why am I don't need to do it for anything anymore.
And that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like you're setting up your new behavior with fitness and health that isn't related to your activity. Like you have to figure out your new behavior patterns with it and how it fits with your schedules. Like maybe you have a pretty heavy state job for the first time ever, or you're having a relationship, or you're moving, or like you're learning how to be an adult that set the standard and set the stage immediately, that fitness and health is a part of that from the jump. So it's like you're already learning how to be an adult, add that in right away, so that it's not something that's like, well, yeah, and it fell off, and now that I'm like kind of, settled and maybe I'm married and start to have kids, that's not the time where you should be adding this in. Like when the stress of figuring out your life is already happening, just throw that in with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then I think when you get into your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, you're kind of already just rolling with what's happening to a certain degree. Like your life might be changing. You still might be building your career and building your families.
Crisis.
But like a large portion of what you're doing is kind of situated that make it a part of it from the jump so that you can just start adapting and increasing the payoff from it. Because I think our bodies don't just stop aging. That as soon as you get into your mid 30s or 40s, especially for women, it's like you're kind of getting close to the age where you're going to start to be in like perimenopause, and then you're in like during menopause. Like that is when I think you should be really focusing on resistance training, because again, going back to when I was talking about the kids, like you're now focusing on it for your hormone health and your ability to maintain a mental state, because your hormones are going to be greatly affecting that.
Well, this is like what I was saying with trying to drink water right away in the morning, to be on top of it, and then I'm not chasing it all day long. It's the same sort of concept. Like just get this going early and started early so that you can get to this point and maintain it, and then continuously tweak things when they need to be tweaked. Maybe you hurt your knee doing something, but you're already in good health, so now you don't have to like, we'll wait for you to finish that slurp session, but then you can just add on top of that, rather than I'm 270 pounds and my knee's fucked now, and I guess I'll start getting healthy. It's like, that's a shit place to start. Like your knee's fucked and you're 270 versus I'm a healthy person. I'm 200 pounds. Like I'm muscle. I only have 8% body fat, 10% body fat. And then I hurt my knee. You're in a way better situation compared to the other person.
That's a big boy. 200 pounds and lean.
Yeah, it's a big boy, but that's what I'm saying.
But yeah.
It's like you're on top of it.
It's so much easier to maintain and build versus coming back. That's why I always say, like, I don't know, like I've never needed to get back in shape that much. I've faltered a little bit and like, oh, I don't feel as good as I could. I don't look as good as I could. I'm not at the, shape or whatever. But when it's like, give me 2 weeks, I would much rather have that, just like mentally having to not come back from. Well, it's like, I'd rather just stay close to where I need to be.
Inevitably, shit is going to hit the fan at some point, and you're better prepared and able.
Yeah.
That's going to be so much better than, oh, shit hit the fan, and like I don't have the body that can recover from this, really.
Yeah.
Like so you're going to have to do that much more work.
Set the stage that it can just maintain, and resistance training needs to be a through line, I think, with all of it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, resistance training is it's one of those things. It's like it's just a must now. It's not a debate of whether we should be doing it or not. It's like, no, you should be doing it. Mm-hmm. If anything, cardio is well, maybe you can get away with not doing it.
Yeah.
Even though the longevity research doesn't really say that.
Movement. You need a lot of movement.
It says, VO2 max, you should have something going on there.
Okay. I can halter. I can stop.
All right. It's lunchtime. My favorite part of the day.
I know. That's why you're... Okay. Subscribe. Like, yes. Watch.
Comment. Come on. Give us
your attention.
Yeah. We ask of your attention. Just give it to us.
Okay, see you later.